Excellent. Okay, folks, welcome. We're going to be starting right now. Thank you for being here. I bring up my little welcome message here. Everybody can see that. You can see everything, Avish?
I can.
Excellent. Well, so let's go ahead and get started. There's a number of things. Thank you all for being on the call. These are the weekly JV Partner webinars that I invite others to attend in addition to the regular and existing set of JV partners. So, wanted to just say thank you for being here. Number of things that I learned that were very, very helpful over the last week. A couple of things that I learned, and I wish that I did not have a hard drive crash, which one of the things that when I went to the Apple store today, the guy told me, he said, you know, the hard drives are either they have crashed or they will crash at some point. He said, just be prepared for that. And what happened was I had done over a year without backing up. So it was a pain in the neck. So I would encourage everyone to back up their hard drives. I won't tell you any more about my tale of woe, only to say that it's a bad idea not to be backing up on a regular basis. End of story. And so that was my fault entirely. So, Avish, tell me a little bit, since you are the JV partner that is on the site for right now. I don't know who's going to join us later, but what's been going on with SpeakingExpert.com?
Well, you can see, finally, after months of hemming, hawing, and changing direction, the opt-in gift is finally live.
Right here.
So,
Yep, so it's 7 steps to quickly getting paid speaking gigs. And when did that go up and go live?
That went live yesterday, and then I changed. The Facebook ad was originally going to the product page, so I changed the Facebook ad. I created a separate page that's just a form.
Okay.
And so we are now 100% opt-in from that.
Oh, me?
That's after one person clicked through the Facebook ad so far, and that person did, in fact, sign up for the report. So
nice. Wow, 100%, man. Very good.
Yeah, well, with a sample set of 100% is very doable.
Absolutely. Cool. So now the other thing is that a couple things that I made mention of. I really wish that there were a couple of things that I wanted to show people on the site that were pretty. I'm going to do that probably next week. Some things from these videos that and some things reports that I watched, all of which I'll put up on the JV Partner site, which others don't have access to, but I'll give out the link, so that won't be a problem. So let's talk a little bit more about this site here and what we're doing. Now, the reason why we sort of did this is we found out from Bill DeWeese, and you can tell these two sites look very much alike. That's because they're the same theme or using the same theme. The other thing that I like that Bill has done here is he's put the microphone and the click here for a free consultation. We may want to try and add that as well. Ask Stanley about that if you need to.
Yeah, I'll talk to both of them.
I like it. So then, the thing that Bill's getting something like over 30% opt-in for this report. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know he's getting great numbers. So.
Yeah, so let's copy what he's doing, and it can be naturally when you look back and forth at the two of these, it can either be the video that's hurting us, maybe because I'm in there, or could be that what the title is on the report. So we can play with those things and see if we can increase our opt-ins. I think it's important. We do have Google Analytics hooked up to this, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. And so from that, what kind of traffic are we getting? You said about 10 a day or something like that?
Yeah, it's between 5 and 10 a day. That seemed to have gone up a little bit, but I think that's because I started the Facebook ad last week. So I can see if I can bring that up and get more accurate numbers.
Okay. So we're going back.
But yeah, but this new opt-in is live, so I want to leave it kind of as is for a few days just to see how it does versus the traffic.
I agree. Not a problem there. I would agree 100%. Excellent. So then what we're finding here is that this, well, at least from our random one sample, somebody signed up. I think, again, it has a lot to do with what we put here as the, as the headline. 7 steps to quickly getting paid speaking gigs. is sounding pretty powerful to me. And let's see if that does in fact work. Now, if we click on products, we have a list of the entire Speaking Expert series here, module by module, which is good. Excellent. And then we also have some other programs here as well. Perfect. And
yeah, what I haven't done, the one thing I haven't done yet, which is again on the short list now that the opt-in is done, is the follow-up autoresponder series. So I'm going to mix in some of the articles that you wrote and I wrote, and then throw in the occasional sales letter to go to, the full series and things like that.
Perfect. Okay, so then, and under free stuff, what do we have here? Coming soon.
Oh, look at that. That's where I should put the free report at least. I didn't.
Yep. Let's see. Contact is a form, right? Okay, coaching here. Now, I think that also under coaching, we may also want to direct people to the other site, which is, what is it, paidpublicspeaker.com?
Yeah.
Is that, do I have that right, Paid Public Speaker?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So let's make some notes on that. So this is the program that we're sending them. This has an auto start, I know. So let's do those things on that site. That would make sense. Let's do that.
Yep.
Let's see here. If I go back to, where's my, let's see here. No, it's, where's my Speaking Expert site? It's disappeared on me. Damn. Can't trust these computers nowadays. There it is. So we've got speakingexpert.com, and let's just click around here. So we have the About page, you and me, and who we are. We may want to add some pictures to that. Make a note of that.
Yeah.
I would. On the blog, now, again, this is a little bit different than what it looks like when you click on the blog for Bill. Not really sure which one I like better. We click on his for blog. Here's what we're going to get. Come on. Why isn't it loading?
Excerpts and stuff on his.
What's that?
You got like excerpts and stuff on his?
Yeah, I don't really know what he's got. I think so. It's having a hard time loading, so let's not. So anyway, I mean,
yeah,
I think...
I'll take a look at that because this is really more of a sitemap. But this is kind of what the theme defaulted to. So I'll go in and see maybe I can play around with... Because I do prefer, if you're going to click on blog, I prefer to see the... the title with a little excerpt, things like that. So I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, now this under resources also, Vish, let's put a whole bunch more now of different resources here. I would put some of our own. I put Web Marketing Magic up there. Use your affiliate account if you want. I would put links to other things up here. Resources. This is basically all of this should actually be what Fred sent me is.
Right. So anything that a speaker might need.
Yeah, anything at all, put it up here. I think that's a good thing to have. So basically anything and everything. Now, did you see the latest thing from that Jason brought to everyone's attention on the splitting of the commissions? That WordPress WordPress plugin that'll do that?
No, he posted that in the group.
Yeah, he did. He posted that in our Facebook group, and what that allows people to do, and this is a really, and I guess I could pull up the Facebook group right now. Here, let me do that and show people here.
Oh, is this his link to Square? No, let's see. Oh, here we go. WordPress Instant Pay Equity Partners.
Yeah, why don't you do me a favor and tell me what the what's the name of the site?
Here, I'll
Send
put
it to me in the questions or in the questions area. Let's see what it is here.
Did you see? Does that come up for you in chat?
It did. Let me just see if I can do a copy and paste here. Let's see here. Looks like I might be able to. Okay. So what this program, folks, and everybody watching, listening, etc., allows you to do is basically, since Avish and I have other partners, let me just sort of detail this. So this would allow you to, let's say that what it does is, and let me enlarge the type here. Partners can set up separate affiliate relationships and equally, or however they choose to, split the revenue that results. So what happens there is that Avish and I, this is our site in which we're splitting revenue here at the at speakingexpert.com. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that whenever anybody clicks on resources here and clicks on any of these links, that we have it set up in such a way that it allows us to share the revenue that results from anybody who signs up for any of the programs. It's just a very efficient way to split the money that comes from people finding our site as opposed to my site or his site, and so that we can then, evenly and accurately split the revenue. And that's just makes a lot of sense to do. So I would encourage people to take a look at that. And if you missed it, it is this URL, which is WP-InstantPay. Now you see, we're stupid because we should have set up an affiliate link for that.
Yeah.
Which we will. So I'm going to hide this now quickly. So anyway, this, again, I would take a look at, now that we're starting to really kick into gear here, we should be starting to look at every navigation link on the site to make sure that it's really doing what we want it to do. Also, when you come out here again in a few weeks, we should probably re-record the video.
Yeah.
But I would make sure
so
that
the video doesn't say anything about the report.
Yeah, exactly. And again, here we've got some other things we're doing on this services page here, Avish. We obviously want to put, again, another link to paidpublicspeaker.com, and that might help. By the way, could you make a note to send me all of the information regarding Friday's speaker match event that we're doing?
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I was looking through, because of my hard drive crash, I think it's in my email, but if you could send it to me again, it'd be great.
Yep.
Okay, so I think that's probably a good idea for everyone to do, which is to, whenever you have a site, go through it as if you're a visitor, and see, what's going on and what you're doing, and see if you can.
Well, it's a good reminder too, because a lot of those pages and tabs were put up 3 or 4 months ago, and so much has happened, and I forgot to kind of go back in and revisit all of them just to make sure they're all current and up to date.
Good deal, but it's always a good idea to check your own site every once in a while. If you notice with my site here, the pop-up comes up, and this goes to the Fred Info Bootcamp, so that's been proving effective. And there are, again, this is, we may want to eventually set your site up to have this kind of an approach. And I think that, this is a pretty good looking site. If I do say so myself, it's really not my work though. So I can't take credit. Stanley put all this together. And so when we click on all these, different things happen. So become a protege, let's get started. This is a separate site that it goes to, and it gives people a way to send me in their information to become a protege if that's what they want to do. And that is, again, so it's a good idea to click on, and again, here's the pop-up, click on all of your different things. When you click on webinars, those of you who are at this webinar, if you ever want to go see previous webinars that have been recorded, here's what you do. You click here and take a look at the various things, and you click on it and take a look at the old webinar from October of last year. And so what this does is when you click on that, it goes to a page that is set up, and it's being hosted on Amazon S3. And so that way when people click on it, it's going to hopefully play. And that will give you, if anybody any of you want to go to the older webinars, that's how you do it. So it's a good idea, though, to click around on your own site every once in a while, because you'll be amazed at what you'll find that you've left out or forgotten to include or whatever. That's a good thing to do. So there you have it. Now, Avish, let's talk about, let's see here, if we get back to yours. Where is it? It's disappeared once again. Nope, that's not it. Come on, let's get to speaking expert here. There it is. So now we've got the blogging here. How many total blog posts do you have? Because one of the things I keep saying is that, and I don't know, I think I told you this, that one of the webinars that I was on, we were talking about a bunch of stuff, but they were telling the group that was listening that everything else being equal, that website with the most amount of pages or posts on it wins. Because Google will assume if you have, and I have now close to 1,000 posts, but I've been doing this for a while. If I have 1,000 posts on my website and a lot of pages, it must mean Google says everything else being equal, they're going to give me more points.
Right.
So
yeah, there are 130 posts on there.
130 posts, great. And again, well, what we're going to find is after Ermel's seminar, and for those of you wondering about Ermel's seminar, let me put this up here because this is a very unusual thing that we're doing. First off, anybody in the New York City area or visiting New York, publishing seminar.com, that's coming up on May the, I think it's the 23rd. It's a Monday. May 23rd, Monday. It's all day in New York City. But the Ermel event, as we're affectionately calling it, is June 10th through the 12th. Don't worry, Avish, I will not ask you again whether or not you're coming. 10th through 12th, which is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this is a guy coming over from UK who's a genius at doing all this stuff. And that event is priced appropriately at $3,000, and that is for this guy, because this guy's a genius. And the guarantee is that if you don't get $3,000 worth of benefit from attending the seminar, by the end of the event, we'll give you your money back. So I mean, I have absolutely no qualms at all about offering it at this price. It's being held here at my house in Las Vegas or Henderson. And so anybody who wants information on that, just send me an email at fredgleek@gmail.com. And that is going to be covering internet information marketing. So internet/information marketing, in which we're going to cover the three legs of the stool, which is traffic, conversion, and product. So please, if you can, contact me if you're interested in that. This event is being held primarily for the JV partners, but we have opened it up to the general public, and it's a high-priced event for 3 days that, again, is worth every single penny and more. Avish, just, in case anybody's uncertain, what are your thoughts about Ermel and his abilities?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I mean, between what he told us at the JV meeting, where he only had 15 minutes, I mean, that was great. And then I've done a couple of Skype calls with him where we've been kind of working together, and he's been giving some great advice. And it's just, he's really good at making it clear and doable and accessible. So I mean, and that's only been if he's putting this all together in a 2-day, 3-day seminar. I mean, it's going to be mind-blowing the amount of stuff you'll walk out with.
Yeah, it really is. So anyway, enough of the pitch on that. Now, tell me, what have you learned from him that is applicable to this site? Do that as I grab myself a quick glass of water
here. What I've done that's applicable to this site?
Yeah, in other words, what's he taught you that's applicable to this site?
Well, it's it's a lot of ways. It's taking what seems overwhelmingly large and complex and simplifying it, making it doable. So we all know backlinks are important, but he shared with me a couple simple ways of getting just tons of backlinks. It's very doable. I've already started working on it. Um,
Has
and I
that
think that's the big key. What's that?
has that give me some, has that borne any fruit for this site?
No, not yet, because the stuff is being put together to be put out there. But just because for me, the one of the strategies we've talked about over the last year and a half of doing this is the commenting on other people's blogs and bringing them back, and I know that's a good strategy, but that wore thin on me after a while. I just didn't have that mindset of just seemed like an overwhelming task to every day spend however much time finding relevant comments with blah blah. So I don't know, for whatever reason, the way he positions it and the plan, it doesn't feel overwhelming, even though it's a lot of work. It's like, all right, go write these articles based on these keywords, and then here's how we're going to distribute them. And for some reason, and that's probably the best thing I can say about him, because I mean, obviously there's hundreds of places anyone can go to get search engine optimization, traffic conversion information, but he's got a way of positioning it that is clear, concise, and very doable.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got that's just one of the many things that he does. I'm just wondering if, how long will it be for you to see this bear fruit? How long is it going to take?
Well, for both this site and my other site, I was waiting to get the opt-in before I started driving traffic. So this one has the opt-in, so now we can start applying that. I didn't really get a firm number from him that, in, X number of weeks. Now, he's got some of the stuff that he's outsourced allows him to do it very quickly. So he might see results in a week or two. He's got 3 outsourcers that'll handle a lot of this stuff. For us, it may take a little longer doing it more manually, but in terms of great results, I don't know, but I'm sure in the next few weeks we'll start seeing some Google rank placement movement.
Where are we ranking right now for Google in certain keywords?
That's a good question. I have not checked. Let me see. Where'd that go?
Yeah, let's see what those are so we can see. So again, now you've got over 100 posts on there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously the site is being indexed by Google, correct?
Yeah.
And our dead center keyword is presentation skills?
It is now public speaking, which is still not ranking. Let me see some of the other ones that we've done that have ranked in the past.
And so give me again, what is the how many visitors are we averaging daily now?
Between 5 and 10.
Okay. Got it. And now what we're going to be tracking is to see how many of those people are opting in, because we were having a pretty low rate previous, right?
Correct.
Okay. And so, and again, what the strategy here is that, Google obviously concentrates on 2 things, content and backlinks. Those are the primary things that make, Google rankings go, is these 2 things. So if we put a lot of content on there, we have a lot of backlinks coming to a site. And let me give people an example. I mean, my seminarexpert.com site, ranks number 1 for seminar marketing. I got a call today that, there's huge dollar potential in the call that I just got. And it's, again, as a result of taking the time to rank in certain keywords. So which keywords are we ranking well with?
That's a good question. We're not ranking well, but we're on the radar. We're on like the 87 for advanced presentation skills. I should check because I just got a visitor. We just got a visitor yesterday from advanced platform skills. So let me see where we're ranking on that.
Advanced platform skills?
Yeah, that's number 11. That's position 11. I haven't even intentionally optimized that, but we got a visitor through that, so.
Got it. Now, did you happen? Is there? Let me just see if I search the site. Advanced.
Oh yeah, that's broken.
Platform.
I got an email into Stanley about that.
Oh, gotcha. So that's the search function is not working?
Correct.
Was that a plugin?
I don't think so. I think that came with the theme, so I gotta get Stanley's assistance on that one.
Yep. And again, here's, one of the things that everybody should be aware of, and I think you are, is that, the problem, WordPress is such a great platform to put up your site, but, plug-in incompatibility is an issue. Now, that's probably not happening with this one, but it can happen with other sites. So just be aware of that. Now, the other thing that we're doing, just to let you know, Vish, is that I told Stanley that one of the things I wanted to do is to start making it so that we have a cloning. Actually, let me put up the affiliate link to that. And again, if we had had these set up for this, it's cool cloning tool. So at coolcloningtool.com, it allows, gosh, my handwriting sucks. It allows you to clone a complete WordPress site instantly. And I mean, there's one guy that had 500-600 pages and all these plugins and wish list membership sites and everything. Boom, cloned, no problem immediately. Now, why that's important to us as a group is if we can find, if we find a system that works, we just replicate, and for all the partners, so that if something's working, we can take everybody's. And that's why, although, I think that now that this theme is the Freddy theme a WordPress plugin, or is it a WordPress theme?
It's a theme.
But it's a theme. It's not a WordPress theme.
I mean, it's a WordPress theme.
Okay, so theoretically then, whatever we did on one of our sites, I believe this program can take and clone. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so if it's just...
So my question...
I mean, I don't know, it's been a while since I've looked at the cloning to see how it works, but I would assume that, yeah, if it works on one side, then you should be able to clone it on the other.
So my thought is, I mean, shoot, if it works that well, why can't we grab fredgleeck.com and just clone it and have everybody use that and then replace and plug in your own stuff? That's my thought. I mean, but the whole idea here is that we want to make sure that everybody benefits from this. So one of the things that, if we keep going back, it's all about making sure, and I've been doing a couple of these seminars from the on AdWords and paid traffic, but conversion now seems to be, heavily dependent on video. So if you don't have video on your website, pretty much you should, for the most part. I'm trying to do that and put some good copy together. So video, plus good copy on your site, on your landing page, whatever it is. And so in this case, when we come here, and let's review what we have here because I forget.
Hello everybody, this is Avish Parsha from SpeakingExpert.com, and I am here with my friend and partner,
Fred Gleeck, and we're all about showing you how to maximize your speaking revenue as well as improving your presentation skills. Avish, why don't you tell them about presentation skills?
Well, on this site we have...
Yeah, so we got this, and we're trying to get them to, we're going to redo this, but then have something that points that says, get your 7 steps to quickly getting paid speaking gigs. You know what? I'm just thinking. I don't want to, since we only have one visitor. What about if we were to put, how about the 7 parentheses closely guarded closely guarded little known steps to quickly getting paid speaking gigs. Now, I don't know if that's going to be better or not, but I think seven steps to quickly getting paid speaking gigs. The reason why I think that Bill at the voiceover site is getting some pretty good results here, I think that this headline six-figure voiceover secrets, 7 things you need to know before starting your career. I think that's a little bit more powerful than what we have here. I just think that this is not as compelling as this.
Well, I think the compelling part of Bill's is the six-figure voiceover secrets. I mean, I think it's the six-figure line that makes his more compelling.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Would you say that the 7 steps that we're including there are things that are being used by, by the top speakers of the country?
Yeah, I mean, if not the top ones, they were used by the top ones to get there. I mean, once you get to the top, business kind of comes to you. But I think the stuff we're talking about in the report is, niching down, networking, all that jazz is being used.
Maybe what we ought to do is put a little something having to do with income potential on there as well, or something in there that has to do with money, because 7 steps to quickly getting paid speaking gigs, I don't know, if it's a big enough promise. So let's think about how we might...
Well, what about something like get paid to speak? Because that's a little more direct than getting paid speaking gigs. It almost kind of like, yeah, six-figure secrets, colon. If ours was something like get paid to speak now, colon, 7 steps to, whatever will change the getting paid speaking gigs a bit.
What about something like 6-figure? How about this? Let me try it. How about 6-figure speaker secrets? Learn the 7, and by the way, I would put it in numbers, although his isn't. How about that?
That's good. I mean, I like the 6-figure speaker secrets. I don't feel entirely comfortable with it in 30 days or less part.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. What about this? Would you feel better with this?
I'd feel more comfortable, yeah, someone could get. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but I think someone could.
Is that realistic?
Yes and no. I mean, it's possible. I don't know if it's. I guess a lot of that comes down to how much the person invests in it themselves, right?
Right, but if somebody really followed what we told them to do, is it highly likely that they could get a paid speaking gig in the next 90 days?
I think it's at least a 50% shot. I don't know if I don't feel comfortable saying highly likely.
Okay, well then I don't feel uncomfortable with that if 50% of the people could do it. I think to me that's okay to do. I don't feel uncomfortable making that claim. Because that's
now, do you think I need to go in and rewrite the report to reflect those 2 changes?
Well, you know what? The report right now is, first off, you know what? The paid speaking gig part of it, I think that what we can do is to use my thing that I used when talking with all the people in the coaching program at Paid Public Speaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things we told them in that first meeting was, how you can start making money tomorrow as a speaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, do we have anything in that report about that concept that I discussed?
No.
Okay. So let's do this. That's a report, right? This is a hard copy report we're giving away?
Yeah, it's an ebook.
Well,
Or
let's
like a 12-page ebook.
take that and let's get let's you and I record. You interview me. In fact, right after this call is over, why don't you interview me for 10 minutes about that system that I talked about on that call?
Okay.
And we'll include that, as a bonus. Plus, so we'll do plus get this bonus, blah blah blah.
So where are we gonna? Where do you see that being advertised then? So you think this headline, six-figure speaker secrets, 7 steps to getting paid speaking in 90 days or less, that'll go where this yellow headline is right now?
Yes, and down below here with we promise not to share your email address below. Let's put an additional box that says, and get your 12-minute blah blah blah, whatever we put there, that we record.
Okay.
And we can record that in 10 minutes because I can explain that to everybody fairly simply.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good way of doing it.
Got it. So now the one thing that, and what we should do there, do you have a copy? You can download it from the JV Partner Facebook site, but do you have a copy of my order sheet that I used as an example?
Well, I can get it off the blog.
Yeah, if you get it off the blog and actually just you grab it as we're talking. If you can't, you can grab it off the blog, and because of my hard drive crash, send me a copy via email. And so then while we're setting up on the other, when we get off this call, we can use and again include that as part of this. So people will not only be getting that, free ebook and what we're sending them right now, the downloadable report, but they'll be getting an audio on how to do blah blah blah, how to start making money tomorrow from your speaking business, giving free speeches. Which of course everybody listening on the call is wondering, how do we do that? So let's quickly give people what that is. And that is, first off, and I use the example of a speech I gave to a group of image consultants where the whole concept here is go out, let's put it into sort of order here. One, go out and get free speaking engagements anywhere you can. Number two, create an order sheet that sells two things. And those two things are a recording of the individual consultations you do, and B, the individual consultations themselves. So what I'm saying here is, and by the way, everybody listening, Avish knows this story, but I'll just explain it, which is, I was going to do a presentation to a group of image consultants here in Las Vegas. I'd gotten lazy. I was supposed to put a product together specifically for them because I know if I show up at an image consultants conference and I'm selling some generic program on X, Y, or Z, it's not nearly as powerful as a specific program just for them. So I put this order sheet together with 48 hours to go because I didn't have anything to sell. And I said, hey, the first, here's what I offered. And everybody can write this down and do it themselves, which is the first, I think I said 8 people, either 6 or 8. First 8 people get one-to-one consulting or coaching for, and I think it was 90 minutes. And that was priced at, I think it was $777 or $997. And then everyone else, and by the way, one of the conditions of this program for $777 is you must agree to be audio taped or audio recorded. I'm still using the old terminology here. So people that I get, first 8 people, they do this, and then the other people who buy just the product only, and I think I priced that at something like $197 or whatever it was, listen to the audios of the 8 people. So now they were basically getting, 8 times, they were getting 720 minutes, 720 minutes thereabouts, total audio, which comes out to, what is that? Is that 12 hours? No. Is it? Yeah, it is. So that's 12 total hours of audio. And that's basically from listening to me do the one-on-one. So what happened was I showed up at this event. I didn't have anything other than an order sheet in my hand, and it basically said, hey, I'm going to coach you guys on how to better market your image consulting business. First 8 people, I'm going to give a one-on-one coaching, which includes, 2 45 minutes or however I did. I think I did 2 45-minute sessions for a total of 90 minutes. So, but you got to sign up, and only the first 8 people get it. So we got 8 people. So 8 times 777 is, how much is that? Let me put my math rate. You have a calculator there, Vish? So we're looking at about $6,000, right?
Yeah, it's around there.
About. And then, the people paying $197, let's say we had, 10 sales at that price, for a total of about $2,000. So without any product in your pocket showing up at an event, you can make around $8,000. Of course, I had a bunch of people there. So these are the kind of numbers, and basically it's how to create and sell an offer that you don't even have any product in hand to sell. So did you find that Microsoft Word sheet, by the way?
Yeah, I just emailed it to you.
You know what? Could you do me a favor? Why don't you bring it up on your screen? I'll give you control of the screen. You can show people what it looks like.
Okay.
Ready? Set?
Yep.
Go. Hold on, I got to adjust my screen here too because you're going to come in bigger. So I'm going to move this down here. So as soon as you don't start until I small it down. And
No, sorry, I just clicked show my screen. So.
Well, no, that's okay. Okay, so let me just put this so that everyone. Whoops. Crud. What was that? I hate doing this. Hold on one second. Just put this up here, 1 second. Whoops. Okay, so basically here we've got okay, so it says, now could you increase the size on your Word file there? Go to like 150 or so. Okay, here we go. And so now, coaching, mentoring application, supercharge your marketing efforts as an image consultant. Scroll down just a bit. I'd like to help you turbocharge your marketing efforts as an image consultant. Info products bootcamp, downloadable. So I had some other audio programs and some other things, plus all recordings and one-on-one coaching sessions with the first 6 people. I did 6, and so total value is that. And then boom. And then I'd like to turbo with 3 individual coaching sessions, first 6 people. All the above, and 3 individual, I don't know what I did here. So anyway, just take a look at this. And so I did a combination of audio only and individual consultations. So I threw in some additional audio programs that I have. So all recordings of the one-on-one, and then 3 individual coaching sessions of 30 minutes each, totaling 90 minutes. For the first 6 people. So it's 6 times whatever. And I think I charged $777 for the down below. By the way, I would swap these out if I were to do it again. I would put, and Avish, you may want to do that right now on that document. Just take and copy the second offer and put it in front of the first offer, because you should always put your more expensive offer first. So just let's move that. And we'll move it and up in front there. And then, so what we'll do is, and then, so this is what it looks like, and everybody watching, here's what you get. And that allows people, to anybody who's listening to this program now, there you have it. There's a way to do it. So, thanks, Avish. Give me the screen back, and I'll be good.
Am I clicking stop showing screen, or?
I think you change presenter. Oh, I can do that if I want. I can make it me. Show my screen. Okay, can you see my screen now again?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so again, there was an example of exactly how to do it. I made a couple of errors in what I said to do here, but the idea here is you can start to generate, paid speaking engagements or generate money from your speaking engagements without even having a product to sell by just getting free gigs and offering something to a group and make sure that it's very specific to them. Now, other things, Avish, why don't you talk to people a little bit who are listening either live or in a taped environment to a little bit about, I would like to hear a little bit more about the paid public speaker thing and program and how that's going. And so maybe you could tell people a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, this was the program that, as you can see there, that Fred, Bill O'Hanlon, and myself were doing, which is going to be a 6-month coaching program for people who want to start or grow their speaking business. And we started selling spots on April 15th. Out of 25 possible, we sold 17, which is pretty good. We had our first call this past weekend, and there's a lot of excitement, which between there and on the blog. The blog is like the public forum where people can post stuff to. It's a real good start. But what's also exciting is Fred, working his networking magic of somehow being able to meet all sorts of connected people, met someone who runs Speaker Match, which is a website where they give speaking leads. And Speaker Match is actually a real good connection. So we're doing a teleseminar for Speaker Match on Friday.
Do we have that information for anybody who's watching this?
Yeah, let's see. I'll bring up the link and put it in the chat box in a second here.
And this is going to be the attendees stuff, right?
Yeah, and this is a free one, and and at the end, and I'm sure somewhere in the middle, we'll give people the opportunity here to join the coaching program, so we may potentially fill the last few spots that are open, which would be super nifty.
Yeah, and I just like the word super nifty anyway. So now, I don't see it up yet. Did you put it up?
No, not yet. I'm finding it my thing.
Okay, cool.
So.
No problem. But the idea here is that, again, now we should talk to people a little bit about what we did here. We put up a video.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Hanlon. I'm the author of 33 books. One of my
Now, so we did that. Now, while you're doing that, I'll let people.
All right, now it's there.
Got it. Okay. And so what we did is we basically did a video telling people why this was going to be great, and then they have to click here to apply. And so you should go, if you don't do anything else, go to the site and sort of see what we're using as our model for how to do this. And this is the location that you want to go to. Is that, I guess I should just take this link and enlarge it, huh? So everybody who's watching here, this is the link that you're going to want to go to. So that's sort of long, isn't it? You know what? Let's create a bit.ly for that, would you?
Yeah.
So, by the way, for those of you who don't know this either, it's a great place. If you go to bit.ly, bit.ly, you can shorten your link. So what Avish is going to do is go there, put all of this stuff into bit.ly, and it's going to give us a smaller resulting URL, which is much, much easier, and it also gives you some tracking elements to it as well. So Avish, all he has to do is open up his bit.ly site, and anybody can set this up, and this is now how long it is, and all you have to do, and I'll make this big enough, hopefully that all of you can see this. Whoops.
I pasted the bit.ly link in there if you got it.
What's that? Yeah, no, I got it.
Hit the link.
It's now too small, so let me just enlarge this here to make it larger. And I would prefer it not be underlined, but let me just go to format font, do not underline it. Okay, so here is the bit.ly link, which is HTTP, blah, blah, blah. You can see it all there. So anybody who wants, and we will put this, I will put this in the, where did I put this in the attendee list? I'm trying to see where I can send it to everybody here. Type message to the entire audience. I think everybody got that. Did you get that when I sent it? To all under polls, I think it is. Or questions. I could put that in questions also. Send all. Where are we here? Ah, Tom got it. Thank you, Tom. Excellent. So everybody got that. So, and again, I would encourage you to be on this, if for nothing else, just to learn how we're doing this in the process. Because what we're trying to do is to fill this event, and let's just let people hear what it is. And again, feel free to copy this model for yourself.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Hallen. I'm the author of 33 books. One of my books was featured on Oprah, and I've been doing public speaking about 3 times a month for the last 30 years, and I make a solid living as a speaker.
My name is Fred Gleeck, and I actually got my career started with a company called Career Track, which was a public seminar company, and I was their top speaker in every single topic that I got involved in.
And my name is Avish Parnisher, and I've been speaking for less time than these guys, which is why I still have all my hair and it's not white. But I've been speaking and training to corporations for about 8 years now.
So we made this pitch on this site, and people could apply by clicking here or get on the waiting list by clicking over here. And I think that everybody who's watching this program, this webinar, should think about doing something similar. So go to paidpublicspeaker.com and use it as, an example of how to do this yourself, and sort of use this as a model. Any other thoughts on that, Avish?
No, it makes sense to me.
Good. So now, you know what I can do also in the last few minutes here? Let's take a couple. Does anybody have any questions on anything we've covered so far? Just put it, Tom, you put it in the question place. That's great. Anybody have any questions on what we've covered so far? I'd like to see questions from you, those of you who are watching / listening on the webinar, to see if we can clear anything up, because now's the time to do that. We don't have time often to do that. Today we have a couple minutes to do it, so if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Feel free to ask. Any questions? Going to give everybody about a minute to find where that is in the questions area on your little panel for GoToWebinar there, and send in a question if you have one. Avish, any thoughts that you have?
No, plenty of information and lots to do. So.
Yep. Okay. I don't see everybody's mesmerized for some reason. They have no questions, but they're enthralled. I can tell. I can just feel it. So this is your bit.ly link to get on that. And also, by the way, bit.ly is a great place for you to go to set up your own shortening URLs and also be able to track them. Well, Avish, I guess we've been let off easy today with no one asking us any questions. It's like a college class where the bell has rung and we're ready to go.